What's going on, everybody? I'm Kevin from Cigar Prop, and I just finished the final coat of primer in the new walk-in cigar humidor, and I made a mistake, but we'll get to that in a second. I've been getting a lot of questions about the process that I use to prime the walls and what primer I use. I upload this video or these videos on multiple platforms, but if you go to the Cigar Prop YouTube channel, I have a dedicated playlist that says walk-in cigar humidor build. That's where all of these videos will be posted. So if you missed one of my previous ones, definitely look at that playlist and you'll be able to reference those in the future. But for those that have been asking, I use the Kills Mold and Mildew Primer. Some people have been asking why I went back and forth with regular versus tinted. It was just so I could keep track of what I primed. So I started off with white primer and got a good coat on. And then I did the gray primer, right after that. I put all the wood slats up and then I did those in white primer. And then I came in this morning and then did one final coat of gray primer on everything. So the walls got 3 coats. The wood slats got 2 coats. I think that's going to be plenty for that. And then someone reached out to me and said, hey, did you coat the back of those pieces of wood? And I go, wait, what? Son of a bitch. I didn't. What I should have done was, and this is for people that are looking to build their own walk-in humidor, I should have painted everything. So I didn't have to cut these. These were all 8-foot lengths. I should have just painted them outside. I could have used a small airless and coated both sides. I could have done 3 coats, 4 coats outside, and then stapled or nailed and then screwed them to the wall. That was my mistake. So I thought I was done, ready to wrap this in plastic. Now what I'll have to do is I'll have to go with a bead of caulking and put all the way around each slab from keeping any moisture that happens to make it through the 3/4 inch wood, through the plastic sheets, and into the back of the wood. The odds of that happening, slim to none. But I need to do that just in case. Remember, I'm here in Florida. It's hot. It's humid. This is going to be what's considered a wet environment. I am going to try and keep the humidity down as low as I can to keep the cigars in the best condition. So I'm hoping to keep the humidity around 62 to 64%. I'm not going to get up to that 70%. I'm not a fan of that higher number. Try to keep the temperatures in here in the mid. It's going to be a challenge. Cigars are always fermenting. What's the byproduct of fermentation? Heat. So I'm going to try and keep this room as cool as possible, but I doubt I'll be able to get it below 72 degrees. So 70% humidity, 70 degrees humidity, 70. That's the perfect breeding ground for mold to start growing. So if you can't control one of those things, you can always control the other. You can control one of those, always. It's hard to control them both. So if I can keep the humidity down to a reasonable level, I probably won't have to worry about mold, mildew, anything else. So I will spend some time and just run a bead of caulking all the way around. At least it doesn't have to look pretty because nobody's going to see it. So that was, that was the reason for alternating on coats of primer, just because I needed to make sure every square inch was covered on every single coat. So for me, I just alternated colors of primer. That was the only reason I did that. Some people have asked, am I going to put a coat of paint over this? No, I'm not going to put a coat of paint over it. Remember, this was already, drywalled. It was already primed. It was already painted with the Sherwin-Williams Emerald. It's $105 a gallon. So it's the most expensive paint out there. Now it has 3 coats of primer on top of it. So the odds of any moisture, any mildew getting all the way through that, and then getting on the green board, which is mold and mildew, treated, preventative, you know, I should be okay as in mold and mildew protection goes. So these are just some of the things to keep in mind when you're building your own walk-in humidor, if you're converting a closet or anything in your house. Then the other question was the door that we chose to use. This is actually an exterior door. As you can see, there is a metal threshold. So I don't think that was clear in a few of the videos. People were asking if moisture is going to be able to escape underneath of it. This room will be 100% airtight. There is a thick gasket all the way around. This is a double pane glass. Like I said, this is an exterior door that's supposed to go outside. So this door is going to keep anything from getting in and getting out. So I just got to figure out what I'm going to do for hardware on the door, but that's not a big deal. So yeah, so in case that wasn't clear in the other videos, there is a threshold there. There's no way moisture is going to escape. The only way the moisture is going to escape is through the fan that we have up here. It will be an open fan, so temperature, so things will be able to come back and forth. If I have a bunch of people over here smoking, there is a chance that smoke will be able to get through the fan into this room. So I will design a cover if I have, a group of people over here smoking, that I'll just be able to stick on the wall to prevent anything from coming in. Also, it'll be a multi-speed fan. I could also always just turn it on and to where it's always blowing out that way. So there's no way anything can ever come back in. I tried to find fans with grates that shut off, but they were large. Nothing that would work for here. So that's just one thing I'll have to do in the future. If you're converting a smaller closet, maybe that's something you don't have to do. But we'll talk more about that in the future. So yeah, so that was just a mistake I made. I didn't paint or prime the backside of those. Like I said, caulking all the way around will be fine. So all right, cats and kittens, we'll see you on the next part.